What is up, internet? This is NeoDad Gamer86 here with my first video on YouTube. If you like what you see, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Now, what are we getting into today? We are getting into my top 5 reasons why I'm excited for Spider-Man PS5. Number 5, character development. Now, it has been confirmed it's only been 1 year since we last saw Miles in Spider-Man PS4. So Miles won't be a seasoned, experienced web-slinger like Peter. So that should make for an interesting plot as Miles struggles and develops as you progress through the story. Number 4, the villains! No, seriously, the villains. Now, Miles' main villain is the Prowler, and we all know that the Prowler is Aaron Davis, Miles' uncle. I don't think that'll be the case in this story, just due to the simple fact that I don't think Insomniac will give us something predictable. I think they'll give us something new and fresh like the first game. I mean, they weren't afraid to change major characters' backstories or their futures. So the fact that Insomniac has that kind of freedom within the universe is pretty cool in my opinion. Number 3, Peter takes a backseat. We all know the Peter Parker Spider-Man story. Peter gets bit by spiders, Spider gives Peter powers, Peter has an Uncle Ben who dies, and then yada yada yada. Much like the Spider-Verse movies, this is Miles' story, so Peter can just sit on the sidelines. Number 2, the combat. Now, Miles was bitten by a completely different spider than Peter, which gave him the same powers as Peter, but also gave him some additional ones as well. Like the fact that Miles can be invisible is freaking bananas. So it should be pretty interesting to see how they incorporate the new powers into the combat system. Miles should look, feel, and play completely different than Peter. And finally, that brings us to number 1. It's frickin' Spider-Man! Spider-Man PS4 sold 3.3 million units only in its first 3 days of release. So to say that people are hyped for a continuation of this universe as Miles Morales on next generation hardware is a bit of an understatement. I'm super stoked to see what kind of experience the DualSense controller gives us. Like the haptic feedback and the tension on the triggers. I mean, what will it feel like when Miles springs a web? And I anticipate that having Spider-Man Miles Morales as a launch title for PlayStation 5 will be the perfect way to showcase the next generation hardware. And Insomniac did an outstanding job with the first game, so I think it's safe to say that we can all rest easy knowing that the future of this franchise is in the right hands. So those are my top 5 reasons, but what are yours? Let me know down in the comments below. Will you be playing Cyberpunk instead? Or Watch Dogs? Or Assassin's Creed? There's so many AAA titles launching with this next-gen hardware that it's gonna be tough to keep up with. But one thing's for certain, we're all gonna be broke coming this holiday season. So that was it. My first video on YouTube. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay classy.